I went ahead and pulled all of the CVC activities so that you can have a closer look at the different ones that are included. These are by far my favorite. The blending dot cards I seriously used every single day with my kindergartners and first graders, either for CVC or for words with blends, and we'll look at those in a bit too. But what I love about them is it really gives the students a chance to understand that every letter has a sound. So with this word, log, we would practice a lot of guided practice. Log, log, log. We would also practice finding the letters to go with the sound so that we could blend. With these cards, I always print them front to back so that my students could flip over and check whether or not they have the words correct or not. It's also great for kindergartners who are not quite ready to do this independently. We can go og based on the letter sounds and cover up our picture. We can also do a lot of letter matching for students who are learning letters and letter sounds. So here's another example. I like using sensory bins with my either my letter tiles or my letter pebbles, and I'll leave a link for these as well. But my students really enjoyed just, I have a U instead of an M, but you kind of get that idea here. The vowels are red and then the consonants are blue, but just matching up those letters and those letter sounds. So that's one activity. The blending dot cards, absolutely one of my favorite for blending and segmenting and learning to blend and segment CVC words. Another is the 3-piece puzzles. So all of these pictures here are puzzles that the students take all the different pieces to and put the puzzles together to make words. Let's see if I can find one real fast. Find all my yellow pieces. Okay, here we go. So students can do this multiple ways. For students who really need the visual cue, you can have this for them where they can flip through and find the picture of the word that they're wanting to make. See if I can find the word I'm looking for. Okay, so when I look at fan, my students can go f and fan and find the puzzle pieces to actually spell the word F-A-N. Okay, you can also use these mats for them to once again come in and find their pebbles or their tiles to spell the word out. Concentration cards, there's just a bunch of CVC words and words that rhyme where students can flip these over and have a fun little game with those. Lots of different activities that you can do with a lot of these same games and pieces. And then I like to use these same words that are in all of these packs in my notebook of activities as well. Picture puzzles, this is a great way to differentiate. So we talked about a little bit ago how students need to start out first with letters, letter sounds, and then go to initial sounds. So for your students that have just mastered initial sounds on their own, if you cut apart just the initial sound off of the puzzle, the students are getting that practice, and then they're also exposed to the middle vowel and the ending sound as well, so that they're learning all of those different steps. Same thing if you wanted to with, say, fan. You could leave this and just have it as a CVC picture puzzle match, or you could even cut off the N and have them do the final consonant sound for the picture words, or you can have it where your students have to put all three together. I try to use different fonts and type letters so that your students are really learning different fonts and text structure. CVC Tic-Tac-Toe. This is a great one. The kids love this one because they get to play the traditional game of tic-tac-toe. We usually play against me first so that they can learn how to play and the strategy behind it before they're ready to play by themselves. Word family puzzles. This is another great way to differentiate, because if you have students who are not quite ready yet to find all 4 pieces to make the word family puzzle with rhyming words, you can cut the puzzles in half. So another great way to differentiate. You can have all of these great conversations with your students. You can also pull back out those pebbles or your letters and have them work on spelling some of these words as well. Just cut them apart to differentiate for your medium and high groups. And then, of course, your students who are ready can certainly tackle all 4 puzzle pieces and find the words that rhyme for those CVC words. Okay, last one for short vowels. All of these activities cover a ton of standards for phonics and reading, and you can do so many different activities other than what's just written on the front of the box. And in the guide and the directions that I have in the notebook section, you will see a ton more activities than what the box actually says. So word family Go Fish, this is pretty typical of Go Fish games. So you'd have cat, mat, hat, and bat. So as your students are playing Go Fish, their object is to try and get all 4, or you can play it with just where they have to get to. This is absolutely one of my son's favorites. But to start with, your students can just work on practicing the rhyming words. Okay, that's all of the CVC activities.